Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome into Hauk Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome into Hauk Stadium. You are watching the Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN Plus, coming to you live from Cape Girardeau. Today's matchup is between the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles and the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks. For tonight, I am Kyler Messenger, and I will be with you throughout the entire match. What a matchup we had between the 10-6 SEMO Redhawks and the 6-10 Screaming Eagles. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our players to watch, which is presented by Jostens, the official recognition of the OVC. For your home team Redhawks, it is going to be none other than the middle, Elena Lester. Elena Lester had some injuries that ridiculed her to start this season, and she has now made a comeback, and it has been what a comeback season for Lester. 34 block assists on the season. For the other side in Southern Indiana, your player to watch is OVC freshman and OVC Setter of the Week, Asa Thomas. Asa Thomas, three-time OVC Setter of the Week, now picks up her first OVC Freshman of the Week award. A nice matchup between these two teams that we have. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups, which are given to us by Kentucky Tourism. Come explore your new Kentucky home. For the SEMO side, your setter, Megan Holder. Your middles, Elena Lester and Ramiri Gardner. And then on the outside, none other than Marin Johnson, Katie St. John, and you know the name, Lucy Arndt and Nina Schuberth rounding out the lineup. Let's go ahead and take a look at the away lineups for the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles. Starting at libero, you see they have two of them in there, Kerrigan Fair and Audrey Small. Over on the outside, they got Ashby Willis, and as well, they have Bianca Anderson in the middle. They have Carly Wright on the outside, and they have Mackenzie Murphy in the middle. And also, their setter, who we mentioned, the player to watch of the game is going to be Asa Thomas. Right before we start this match, we're going to go ahead and take one quick look at our keys to the match for both of these teams. How are they going to win this game? Well, for SEMO, they're going to have to avoid the blocks. For Southern Indiana, they are averaging 2.62 blocks per set. Not only is that a good number, it's first in the OVC. So what SEMO is going to have to do is avoid the blocks. And on Southern Indiana, this strong defense is going to have to stay strong and slow down the outside hitting of SEMO. SEMO is hitting .238 as a percentage as a whole team so far. They have three players in Ramiri Gardner, Elena Lester, and Kara Oxenconnect, top 10 in the OVC in hitting percentages. What a matchup we have for you tonight between these two teams. This is a back-to-back series. SEMO and Southern Indiana will be matching up tonight as well as tomorrow night. For tonight, we're looking at the 11th time that these two teams have met. SEMO leads the series 8-2, and they won the most recent game. They won last year. The series history was presented to you by ServPro, and here we are in Hauk Fieldhouse, ready to begin. Megan Holder gets the game started with the first serve of the match, and Southern Indiana is going to be the team that strikes first. Here comes the serve from the Screaming Eagles. And a little bit of a miscommunication on the SEMO side. Not something you see too often between the reigning OVC Defensive Player of the Year, Nina Schuberth, and her teammate. Southern Indiana's Audrey Small here to serve. Holder to Gardner with the tip. And here comes the Screaming Eagles. Holder gets her hands on it. Schuberth with the pass. Lucy Arndt comes flying, but Audrey Small finds her hands on that one. Holder to Schuberth. Back out to St. John. That one's tipped at the line, and it's going to get down. SEMO is on the board for their first points of the set. As we mentioned earlier, this is a seriously good matchup in the OVC. Both of these teams, fifth OVC matchup so far in the season. SEMO is 3-1 in the OVC. And USI, Southern Indiana, 2-2 in the OVC. As we see a beautiful play there from SEMO, kept alive by Arndt. But the Screaming Eagles are going to finish that play. That was Carly Wright, the lefty on the outside, to get that point. Right subs out. Kira Moore in to serve. Played by SEMO on the line. And a strong hit there by the Screaming Eagles, but Nina Schubert plays that a 10 back set to Lucy Arndt, and that one is going to go in SEMO's favor. What a nice set there in the back row, and Lucy Arndt, what a play there to get by the defense. Here's Ramiri Gardner with her first serve of the match. And that one's going to be down for an ace. Great start there for Ramiri Gardner. That ball unplayable for the Screaming Eagles. Gardner with the serve. One was set by Thomas. Looks like it was hit by Coleman on that. Excuse me, that was Bianca Anderson who hit that one on the outside just a little bit too far. SEMO takes the lead. Gardner gets another one over. A little bit difficult for the Screaming Eagles, but they're going to play that one, and they are not going to get the point. SEMO goes up 2. We take a quick look at that SEMO lineup that they have. Ramiri Gardner serving, Lucy Arndt in the back row. And in the front row, you got Elena Lester, Katie St. John, and Marin Johnson, and Megan Holder to set. As SEMO gets their third straight point, Ramiri Gardner with 3 straight points behind the helm after an ace to get the third point of the game for SEMO. And now they're going to look to continue to build on this lead. Gardner with another serve. Difficult to play for the Screaming Eagles. A nice setup there by Thomas. SEMO returns the Holder with the back set to St. John, and that one is going to get down. SEMO goes up by 4 thanks to a nice assist by Megan Holder and a great kill by Katie St. John. Ramiri Gardner with her 4th serve. And that one, another ace. Ramiri Gardner with her 2nd ace of the game and her 2nd ace of the first set. That is going to cause Southern Indiana to take their first time out of the match. What a start here from the hometown Redhawks coming out in Cape Girardeau and starting this game off fierce. We're going to go ahead and take a break here. Make sure you stay tuned to Ohio Valley Conference, ESPN Plus Volleyball. I'm Kyler Messenger. We'll be right back.
Kids are always snacking on the go, so keep them going all day with chewy, delicious Sunbelt Bakery Bars. From oats and honey, to chocolate chip, to soft baked strawberry. There's a flavor for everyone. The tastiest flavors under the sun. Sunbelt Bakery Bars.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Fire it up, Randy! By being prepared for anything! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Hello and welcome back to the Hauk Fieldhouse, where Ramiri Gardner is set to serve. SEMO up 5 here in the first set of the match. Blocked by that one by Lester and St. John. Still SEMO's play. Arndt gets it over. A tip by Thomas. And we're still playing. Elena Lester up in the air. Set by Thomas. Southern Indiana stuffed at the line by Katie St. John. SEMO gets a couple blocks on that possession to get their 6th straight point of the set. Ramiri Gardner still serving. She's got 2 aces in the game so far. That one played by the Screaming Eagles. And that one's going to be a point for Southern Indiana. Kerrigan Fair back to serve for Southern Indiana. And Elena Lester gets up. That ball playable, though. Coleman stuffed at the line by SEMO. Gets a back set to Willis, though. Schubert gets a hand on it. 10 to Arndt. Thomas with a nice set to save that possession. Arndt's going to get a dig. And Holder to St. John. Another dig by Southern Indiana. OVC leader in digs for a reason, and they are going to stay on the board with that one. Now, I do think that I said this was Kerrigan Fair serving earlier. I do apologize. This is none other than Ashby Willis back to serve for Southern Indiana. One other apology out to you guys. We don't have any game sounds for you in this game. Unfortunately, it is just my lovely voice with you and these volleyball plays, but no game sounds for you, so we do apologize for those technical difficulties as SEMO goes up 5. First sighting of Ellie Burns in the game for SEMO. Now, on the Southern Indiana side, their setter, Asa Thomas, won OVC setter and freshman of the week, but Burns was nominated for that setter of the week after a strong outing in SEMO's 2 wins against Tennessee Tech. This is a SEMO team that is coming off of 2 straight wins. They beat Tennessee Tech in 4 sets in both of their doubleheader matchups. Their game before that, though, they lost to an OVC opponent, Little Rock, as SEMO hits that one just a little bit out of bounds. SEMO 11, Southern Indiana 6. If you look at the Southern Indiana side, they are also coming off of 2 wins. 2 sweeps, may I add, against an OVC Eastern Illinois. Didn't give up a single set. 6 straight set wins for Southern Indiana. In their last 6, they have won 6 straight sets. SEMO up 6 in this one, though. We're going to take a quick look at that replay real quick, which was set by Burns and Johnson with her first kill of the game. Her second kill of the game, Thomas. And what a hit there from the middle of Southern Indiana. Nice play there to know exactly where the SEMO defense was not. It was Mackenzie Murphy with the tip over on that one. And the OVC setter and freshman of the week, Asa Thomas, back to serve. Thomas with a low serve that Arndt just has to barely float over. And what a hit there by Mackenzie Murphy. We're going to take a quick look at that one real quick. Arndt with just a free ball for Murphy, and with both hands ferociously puts that one over. Nina Schubert with the dive. So we missed the tail beginning of that play, but we saw Schubert with the nice play. As SEMO keeps this one up, here comes Arndt. She's jumping up there fast today. This is a nice rally that we have going on as Schubert gets it over to Torrey, who gets blocked at the line, but Reagan Nelson keeps it up. Fake to Lester. Lucy Arndt right at the face of Thomas, but it's saved. And we're still going here. A missed touch by Southern Indiana, and Elena Lester finishes the play for SEMO with a block. Our player to watch of the game, Elena Lester. She's our player to watch for a reason. 36 blocks on the season, and that's going to be her 3rd solo block, though. Nobody to help on that one. Just Lester in the middle. No problem for SEMO. Schubert back to serve. And that one just a bit too far. Nina Schubert, the team leader in aces, makes an error on that one. But nonetheless, SEMO is still up 4 points in this first set. Southern Indiana going to have to work from behind. And here's Kerrigan Fair back to serve now for the Screaming Eagles. Back-to-back errors between these teams. And honestly, if you look at the stats between these 2 teams are very, very good serving teams. So some rare misses from rare players. Literally both of the team leader and service aces, Kirsten Fair and Nina Schubert for SEMO and Southern Indiana, both making errors on that one. That is Kerrigan Fair of Southern Indiana, as Small gets all the way over there to play that one. Ramiri Gardner with the give and go. How about Gardner so far in this game? 2 aces and now a kill added on the stat sheet. Take a look at that one as Gardner comes in with that one. No chance for the defense to return that one. Set by Thomas. Back row handled by Schuberth. Nelson to Arndt. Looks like it was touched. Screaming Eagles keep it alive. St. John with the first touch. Here comes Ramiri Gardner. Whoa. Gardner planted that one. What a hit there from Ramiri Gardner out of the middle. Take a quick look at that one. Back-to-back kills by Ramiri Gardner. And Holder's back to serve. Audrey Small got the first touch on that one for Southern Indiana. And a rare occurrence here in the Houck Fieldhouse. That ball hits the ceiling. Still a live ball after the ball hits the ceiling. SEMO goes down on that point as the Screaming Eagles get back on the board. Small with the serve. Nelson gets the first touch. Gardner gets another nice hit. Perfectly returned. They're going to go right back to her, and they're going to send it right back at her face. Looks like that was Bianca Anderson with the solo block for the Screaming Eagles. Audrey Small was serving again. Holder to Arndt. Gets touched on the line, but that one's not going to find its place inbounds. Lucy Arndt gets rewarded with that kill. She's back to serve. Arndt with the serve. Gets that one over, and that is going to be an ace for Lucy Arndt. Her 22nd ace of the year. Lucy Arndt, team leader in kills, second on the team in aces, and second on the team in digs. I mean, just incredible stats there from Lucy Arndt. What a season that she is having so far on this year. Now, although she is not the reigning OVC Player of the Week, the OVC Offensive Player of the Week, she was 2 weeks ago. Now, we didn't have a game. SEMO has played their last 3 games away. So, since the last time we've been back at Houck, Lucy Arndt has added that OVC Offensive Player to her record. Looking at this timeout taken by Southern Indiana. SEMO is up 7 here in the first set. They play Southern Indiana again tomorrow, so this is a back-to-back matchup. These two teams are going to be familiar with each other tomorrow here at Houck Stadium. If you're watching this one in Cape Girardeau and you didn't think that tonight was the night to come to the game, tomorrow is alumni night. Tomorrow, most definitely the night to be here. Also, some other news going around the league. It is OVC Mental Health Awareness Week. If you are listening to this, I love you and you matter. OVC Mental Health Awareness Week. Shout out to everybody listening to this as Lucy Arndt comes back for the serve in the first set here in Cape Girardeau. Almost another ace, but that one's going to be returned by Southern Indiana. Back to the Redhawks. Johnson with the tip. And a free ball here for SEMO. Let's see how they play this one. Holder to Schuberth. Over to St. John. Small gets hands on that one, but it's a free ball for SEMO, and Katie St. John capitalizes. Take a look at this one as that ball goes right back to Katie St. John after she gets that kill. And Lucy Arndt with a rare service error on that one. Just hits it a little bit too far. Gives the ball back to Southern Indiana as they are down 7 here in the first half at the Houck Fieldhouse. Kira Moore with the serve. Schuberth with the first touch. Holder back set to St. John with some ferocity. Holder with the dive. Nice pass there by Holder to Gardner, who gets it over. And we're still playing here. Some mumbo-jumbo over on the Redhawks side. And that one is going to get down. Bianca Anderson with the slide on the outside. How do you return that if you're the Redhawks? As Kira Moore back to serve. The senior just gets that one over. That's a veteran play. Don't think she did that one on purpose, but I am not Kira Moore. You seriously never know with these D1 athletes. These are closest to professional as you're going to get. Here's Moore with another quick serve on that one. Holder to the outside to Johnson. What a hit there from Marin Johnson as she gets her third kill of the day. Johnson averaging 2.44 kills per set so far this season. She's got 3 here in the first set, going over on that. And another slide there by Bianca Anderson. That play is working so far for Southern Indiana, and it's working real well. Willis back to serve. A little bit of a jump serve, and she just took that one outside. SEMO's back on the board. Only 4 points to go. We see the freshman, Ellie Burns, get a little bit of a check-in. You see the redshirt senior, Avery Torrey, get checked in. Here's Burns with the serve. Blocked at the line, but it goes out of bounds. SEMO gets their hands on that one, but couldn't keep it in the field of play. Southern Indiana with yet another point. There's Bianca Anderson with the serve. And that one goes out. Anderson can't help herself out with the serve, but a fantastic first set so far from Anderson. She's got 2 kills. She's got 6 attempts on the game so far. Second on the team. They got Ashby Willis with 11 attempts. And Anderson with 6. Here's Marin Johnson for SEMO serving. Leah Coleman hits that one, and Marin Johnson dives in the back to save it. We're still playing. And that one is going to be Southern Indiana point. Looks like that one was Mackenzie Murphy to get the point. Here comes Asa Thomas with the serve. Asa Thomas with an ace. Asa with an ace? Come on, it's literally in her name. She was built for this stuff. Asa Thomas, meant to be a volleyball player. We're going to take a look at that ace. Just gets in front of Schubert. And Thomas, after an ace with an air, just a little bit short on that one. SEMO with a golden opportunity to close out the first set. Nina Schubert with the serve. It's going to be played. Thomas with the set. And that one goes too far out. Good eye there by the back row of the Redhawks. And Nina Schubert has got game point. Set point. It is set point. We are still in the first set. Excuse me. Here's Schubert. And Schubert sails that one just a bit far. Southern Indiana, 5-6 points to go if they want this win. Southern Indiana going to have to be flawless here. Going to have to play flawless defense, not allow a SEMO point. Here's Kerrigan Fair with the serve. Burns out to Torrey, and that one stays down. What a set by Ellie Burns, and what a finish by Avery Torrey. Nice first set there by the Redhawks. They came out and played exactly how you wanted to. The Screaming Eagles, they also played well. They're going to have to come into this second half playing from behind with a little bit more aggression. We will be back in Cape Girardeau. Don't forget, you're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN. Hello and welcome back into Cape Girardeau. We welcome you back into the second set. But before we see that, we're going to take a quick look at some highlights from that first set. Saw a couple slides there on the outside by Bianca Anderson for Southern Indiana, but SEMO ended up getting the win on that first set. We saw blocks from Elena Lester. We saw kills from Lucy Arndt. We saw kills from Ramiri Johnson. We saw from Ramiri Gardner. We saw kills from Marin Johnson. SEMO has 5 players with kills right now. Marin Johnson, Katie St. John, Lucy Arndt, Ramiri Gardner, and Avery Torrey. Over on the Southern Indiana side, they also have 5 players with kills. They got Mackenzie Murphy, Carly Wright, Bianca Anderson, Leah Coleman, and Ashby Willis. Team leader in kills, only has 1 so far on the day. Willis is going to be our player to watch for the rest of the game. You got to keep an eye on number 6 for the Screaming Eagles if you're SEMO. If you're the Screaming Eagles, you got to kick that defense up. This is a team that ranks first out of all OVC teams in digs per set and blocks per set. We talked to Coach before the game. That's Coach Jeffrey O'Coin, and he said this team is just really good defensively. Obviously, it's a little bit of a coaching thing, but they just know how to play. The offense comes to them eventually through persistent good defense. So they're just going to have to continue that defense and hope to get a better second set result than they did the first one. St. John, though, looking to continue that SEMO hot streak as they go up 1-0 to start the second set. Lucy Arndt with the serve as SEMO goes to a tie, 1-1. Southern Indiana got on the board first with that kill, and Lucy Arndt with the service error to get the Screaming Eagles on the board for the first time. Here's Audrey Small with the serve. Holder to Arndt in that back row. Lucy Arndt with the second back row kill that we have seen. That has got to be something that they worked on in practice this week. Now, you see that occasionally. Lucy Arndt does strike from the back row occasionally. But this is a Southern Indiana team, like we said, that leads the OVC in blocks per set. That is definitely a practiced play that they've been working on this week to avoid those blocks. And as we talk about blocks, SEMO's right on the line. Still alive by the Screaming Eagles, though. Katie St. John blocked at the line. Here comes Willis. And Willis, although touched by SEMO, it's going to go down for the Screaming Eagles. Ashby Willis gets on the board with that kill. And it's a tie ball game once again here in the second set at 2-2. Holder to Lester on that one. Now it's out to St. John. And that one fumbled by Kira Moore just off of the wrong angle of her arm. Couldn't keep that one up in the direction that she wanted to. We see the SEMO subs. You see Burns coming in to serve. You see the subs on the other side for the Screaming Eagles as well. Anderson and Thomas both coming in. It's been a deadly duo so far. Bianca Anderson and Asa Thomas setting as Ellie Burns looks to get another point. There's Willis with the slap on that one. She's been doing it for some years. You can tell with that one. Nice hit and a nice kill by Ashby Willis on that one. And here's Willis back to serve. Floats that one in. Burns with the jumping set. It's going to be returned by the Screaming Eagles. Arndt gets the first touch. And Burns plays that one in the middle. It's not going to be hit by SEMO. Southern Indiana with a little bit of a freebie, a gimme on that one. No worries there if you're SEMO. Just some miscommunications with a freshman setter. Nothing that they can't work through. We talked to Coach Yankis before the match. She said that she is super impressed with Ellie Burns, how she's been playing so far in this season, how she has earned a spot into that lineup. This is a SEMO roster that has 3 setters playing. They have Megan Holder, Alandry Blue, and now Ellie Burns making that lineup as a freshman. Definitely going to be a strong player here in the future for this squad. She is right now. Johnson blocked on the line, goes out of bounds, and SEMO's right back on the board. And Johnson, after getting the kill, is going to go back to serve. We talk about this SEMO team. We talk about Ellie Burns getting in. This is a versatile lineup. This team almost never runs the same lineup. It has got to be confusing to scout for this team. They just run a different lineup every game as Lucy Arndt. What a kill on that one. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look at that replay. A ferocious strike there by Lucy Arndt. Set by Burns. Over to Arndt on the outside. Hits the line, Judge. Watch out, ma'am. And almost an ace on that one. But it's going to be Southern Indiana point thanks to Leah Coleman. Difficult angle on that one. You see the celly on that one. I mean, come on. You got to celebrate after a hit like that. Southern Indiana up here in the second set, 6-5. Bianca Anderson with the serve. Back out to Lucy Arndt, who plays that one up just a little soft. It's in the back for Ashby Willis. Schuberth finds Tori, and that one finds the ground. SEMO ties it up thanks to a mistake by Asa Thomas of Southern Indiana. Maybe not even necessarily a mistake. That might be a little bit harsh. That ball just tipped off of her fingertips. Tori came in with that ball, changed the velocity on that one. Didn't hit it hard, didn't hit it soft. Kind of hit it in the middle. Difficult ball there to return. A nice hit there by Avery Tori. And Thomas finds Coleman on this one. Burns to Gardner. Gardner putting that one down. Here's Nina Schuberth back to serve. Difficult to return for Ashby Willis. And you see the sideline. Spell it out for him. A-C-E. That one's an ace for Nina Schuberth. Schuberth, almost another ace, but nonetheless a great return from the Screaming Eagles. Lucy Arndt winds up on that one, but Southern Indiana's got to get the point. Just a little bit outside for Lucy Arndt. Thomas with another service error. Second serving error by Asa Thomas of the night. No biggie for her. She will come back from that one. She's already got 10 assists on the night, as well as 3 digs. And Megan Holder is back to serve for SEMO. Holder started off this game serving. It's touched there by the middle. And Southern Indiana still going. So Megan Holder gets another point, and she is back to serve again. Quick shout-out to Megan Holder. We've had a couple shout-outs so far in this season. Lucy Arndt, 1,000 career kills. Nina Schuberth, 1,000 career digs. Well, congratulations to Megan Holder for now earning 1,000 career assists. This SEMO team full of 1,000 careers, with 1,000 career assists in Holder, 1,000 career digs in Schuberth, and kills in Arndt. I mean, you got 3 players with 1,000 career anything. That sure is impressive, and it sure makes for a successful team. It's the reason why SEMO is 10-6 and 3-1 in OVC play so far this season. Set by Holder out to Arndt, and those two are 2 of the reasons. Lucy Arndt looked like she was touching the moon on that one. Don't know if she had trampolined on that one or what. Set by Holder over to Lucy Arndt out of Freeport, Illinois. She's been doing it since a kid. Lucy Arndt, what a kill. Back to serve. Here she is. Back set by Thomas. Played by SEMO nicely. And Katie St. John, her 6th kill of the day. That is 6th for St. John. Here comes Lucy Arndt with another serve. Willis to Thomas. And SEMO almost pancaked by Small of Southern Indiana, but they can't finish the play. You see the bench celebrating as SEMO gets on the board yet again. And that one is going to cause a timeout to be taken. SEMO is up 5 here in Cape Girardeau. Don't forget that you are watching Ohio Valley Conference here on ESPN+. We will be right back. I'm Kyler Messenger, and stay tuned.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC.
Hello and welcome back to the Houck Fieldhouse in Cape Girardeau. SEMO is currently up 13-8, and you're looking at Lucy Arndt, who's serving in the second set. Serving literally and figuratively so far in this game. SEMO's on the board again. Arndt's going to stay back there to serve. She's got 5 kills on 17 attempts so far in this game, hitting an astounding 235. Doesn't sound maybe the best that you ever heard, but it sure is pretty good for Lucy Arndt. You see possibly another ball going on the court as Holder sets it up for Johnson, who gets blocked, but it's going to be a Maren Johnson kill because that ball did not land in the playing zone. Lucy Arndt with some strong serving. Lucy Arndt, a do-it-all player for this SEMO squad. If you've been watching all year, you know what she's capable of, and it's one word, everything. She is literally capable of everything on a volleyball court. Lucy Arndt leads this team in kills. Lucy Arndt is second on this team in digs, second on this team in aces. I mean, literally every aspect of the game, she has been killing it so far this year. Katie St. John, though, almost blocks that one as Southern Indiana gets on the board. The transfer, Audrey Small, back to serve. I mean, some of this team's reliable defense goes back to the liberos they have. They have literally Kira Moore, who is 4th in Southern Indiana all-time digs leader. They have a senior libero who's been here for years. They got Kerrigan Fair, who's now in her sophomore year. Ramiri Gardner gets another point for the Redhawks. Outstanding game for Gardner so far as she gets on the board yet again. We're going to take one more look at that. That Southern Indiana defense couldn't stop this one from Gardner. And she's back there to serve again. Southern Indiana has 3 playable liberos, though, and that being Kira Moore, Audrey Small, and Kerrigan Fair. SEMO on the board once again. Fair, a sophomore, played here last year. Audrey Small, a sophomore, but transferred from North Alabama. Was on the first team in the Northern Alabama Conference last year, and now she transfers over to Southern Indiana as Ramiri Gardner gets the 3rd ace of the game. Not for the team, for herself. Ramiri Gardner has 3 aces so far in this match. She's also got 4 kills. Back for another serve, just a little bit short for Gardner. But what more can you ask for after an ace? Team has got to be happy with this one. If you're Coach O'Coin over on the Southern Indiana side, you just got to keep these girls composed as Elena Lester comes firing. I mean, bounce, bounce, bounce. That vertical is insane. Elena Lester all the way over the net. Difficult to return for the Screaming Eagles. Here comes Ellie Burns for the serve for SEMO. Here's the set for Willis. No, I have no audio. Here comes Willis for Southern Indiana. Hey, Mike. Excuse me for the technical difficulties. We are back here in Cape Girardeau from the audio standpoint. We see some dives as SEMO keeps that one alive. And Marin Johnson dives on the back row to potentially keep that one alive. Does not. But wow, what a series there from the Red Hawks defensively. Great defense there, although it was some better offense from the Screaming Eagles. Bianca Anderson, back to serve for the Eagles. Burns with the set to Lester. Looks like Lester jumped a little bit too high. Didn't even know that was possible. Lena Schuberth over to Lucy Arndt. And it's blocked by SEMO. Elena Lester and Lucy Arndt. Looks like they both got hands on that one. Our player to watch, Elena Lester, making those blocks like it's nothing. You see Schuberth serving on the opposite side of all of her teammates. Keeping that side for herself. Thomas sets it to Coleman. SEMO gets their hands on it, but Coleman's going to get the point. Southern Indiana hoping for a little bit of a comeback. This is Asa Thomas to serve. This is Asa Thomas back to serve. Ellie Burns with an outside set for Lucy Arndt. And Arndt gets her hands on that one again. Coleman gives it over to SEMO. Burns with the set. Nelson almost gets a point, but Thomas is diving. Ball is still in play. Schubert to Arndt. Small for Southern Indiana. Gives it to Thomas, who finds Coleman. And that one is over the head of the SEMO defense. Southern Indiana has got 15, and they are climbing back here in the second set. Asa Thomas to serve. Burns with the one-hand set to Lucy Arndt. What a play for that one. If it looks planned. That one looked planned. I know it wasn't, but that one looked planned. That is what good chemistry can do for a team. Ellie Burns getting some playing time and setting the ball with one hand. Absolutely doing it all. A nice set there by Ellie Burns and a great finish by Lucy Arndt. Here is Megan Holder. Asa Thomas over to Leah Coleman. That one blocked by Katie St. John. But Leah Coleman gets rewarded with the point. Katie St. John couldn't keep that one in bounds. Kerrigan Fair of the Screaming Eagles to serve. Holder finds Gardner. Thomas returns it. SEMO's blocking at the net. Willis comes in strong, but SEMO's blocking again. Lucy Arndt, how did she angle that one to go down? How could she have possibly gotten that one to stick? Lucy Arndt's going to be rewarded with the serve on that one. We got to take a look at that. Look at that angle. She hit that ball like Phillip Rivers throws a football. She is side-arming that ball and even angled her hand so the ball would spin a certain way. That was beautiful to watch, and that was professional if I've ever seen it. Lucy Arndt with another professional play watches that one goes, and Arndt has got a chance to put this second set away. I'm still dumbfounded by that play. I mean, she changed the angle of her hand and her arm slot just to get that ball down, and it didn't just go down. It went down right on the line in the back row of the Southern Indiana side of the court. Lucy Arndt with the professional play. Southern Indiana scratching back, though. Here's Small with the serve. Schubert gets hands on it, but that's going to be an ace. An ace for Audrey Small. If there's any time that the Screaming Eagles are going to scream back, it's got to be right now. Down 1-0 in sets. It's match point here in the second set. Marin Johnson is going to finish the set for SEMO. SEMO wins that first set, and then they come out in the second set, and they finish just as strong. Lucy Arndt, 7 kills. Marin Johnson, 6. Katie St. John, 6. And we will be back for the third set here at the Houck Fieldhouse. I'm Kyler Messenger. Don't forget, you're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Hello, and we welcome you back to Cape Girardeau. We welcome you back into the Houck Fieldhouse. I am Kyler Messenger, and we might have a couple more sets of volleyball to play here. We are going to take a look at our match after 2 sets, though, which is presented by United Fidelity Bank. SEMO is up 2-0. They won the first set by 6, and then they came out in the second set and won by 7. It's been nothing but domination from SEMO. They have multiple outside hitters getting multiple kills. Quick before we talk about that second set, we're going to take a quick look at some OVC news and notes, some notes from around women's volleyball in the OVC. For Southern Indiana, we're talking about her all game. Asa Thomas earned Setter and Freshman of the Week. Her 3rd time earning Setter of the Week, 1st time earning Freshman of the Week. And can you dig it? We talk about Southern Indiana ranking 1st in the OVC in digs per set. Not only are they 1st in the OVC, they're 3rd in the entire nation earning third in the nation for digs per set. Well, if you're excited about this game, you're going to be excited about the OVC Championship. Stay tuned for this year's event, which is set for November 22nd through the 25th. Now, real quick, we got to talk about what this just happened in the second set. SEMO just dominated. We're going to take a quick look at some highlights from Ramiri Gardner, a strictly Ramiri Gardner highlight reel. Ramiri Gardner has been absolutely killing the game so far in this game. She's got 4 kills on only 1 error. She's hitting 3 percentage so far. And look at these plays. Gardner not only killing, she is also serving the ball fantastically. She's got 4 kills and 4 aces in this game. That's unheard of. She's going for a double-double in kills and aces. Teammate Lucy Arndt's got 8 double-doubles on the year in kills and digs, but Ramiri Gardner's looking for those kills and aces double-double. A great game from Gardner so far, but she's not the only one killing the game. Lucy Arndt of SEMO has been playing stellar, just like she does almost every game for this roster. Look at that play that we just saw in that last one. I mean, she literally angled her arm differently than she usually does, changed the arm slot, changed the way that her hand is placed, and hits that ball. I mean, it looks like a ping pong player out there when they try to get that ball spin. It was seriously remarkable to watch. But we'll talk about the Southern Indiana team. This is not a team to play around with. This is a team that is third in the nation in digs, not the OVC, not in the Ohio Valley Conference, not in any conference. Out of every single Division I volleyball team, this team is the third best in getting digs per set. That comes down to the liberos and defensive lineup that this team has. It also comes down to the blocks that they've been getting. We got to give a shout-out to this SEMO offense, though. Southern Indiana, through 2 sets, only has 1 block. They only have 1 block through 2 sets. This is a team that has 3 players who are top 10 in the OVC, averaging over 1 block per set. This is a team that has scored 34 blocks on the season, averaging 2.6 per set. And now they only have 1 through 2 sets. We're back here in the 3rd set. SEMO looking to close it out. Southern Indiana looking to keep it alive. And Southern Indiana are going to be the ones who strike first. 1-0 Screaming Eagles way to start this 3rd set here. Audrey Small with the serve. Holder all the way on the outside to Arndt, who gets stuffed at the line by Bianca Anderson. We talked about those Southern Indiana players. They have 3 players in the top 10 out of all OVC players who are available for this stat. They have 3 who are in the top 10 blocks per set. Bianca Anderson, who just got that one, and who got a hand on that one if Arndt didn't hit it so fast past her. SEMO gets back on the board. Bianca Anderson, who just added her 2nd block of the game, is averaging 1.31 per set. That is first among all OVC players. Lucy Arndt is back to serve for SEMO. The set by Thomas. Katie St. John blocked on the outside. If this is a time for that Southern Indiana defense to wake up, this is most definitely the time. They come out in this 3rd set, and they have now gotten back-to-back blocks on SEMO attacks. They're now up to 3. We just talked about them only having 1 on this entire contest, and now they've got 2 in this set, showing what this defense is really about. Nina Schubert with a mistake on that one. Lets the ball go through her hands. She will make up for that one, no doubt. Was the 2024 Ohio Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. Kira Moore hoping to get another serve as Megan Holder, that ball in the net. Nothing she can do about that one. Southern Indiana comes out of this 3rd set playing a lot better than SEMO wishes that they were playing. They're up 4. There's more. Holder to Johnson, and that one is going to be called in by the line judge. Marin Johnson adding to the stat sheet. She's now up to 8 kills on the day. Nobody on this SEMO roster has more than 1 ace in this game, except Ramiri Gardner. She's got 4. Lucy Arndt has 1. Nina Schubert has 1. Ellie Burns has 1. And then it's Ramiri Gardner with 4. What a serving game that she's having so far. She's back to do it again. Thomas with a tip, but SEMO was ready for it. Gardner over to St. John. It's blocked by Anderson and Willis. Anderson, Gardner gets a touch on it. Johnson with a back set to Lucy Arndt, and it's going to be a Southern Indiana point. Coach O'Coin definitely got this squad working. Coming out of the break, they're coming out of this set playing the best volleyball that they have all day. His wife, assistant coach Sarah O'Coin, not with us today, so over on the sideline with Coach Jeffrey O'Coin is Mandy Lee. Over on the SEMO side, you got Julie Yankus. And then assistant coaches Mark Moore, Maureen Johnson, and Tara Beal-Smith. Southern Indiana gets on the board yet again, coming out in this third set, playing good defense, playing even better offense. There's Willis with the serve. Holder lets it come down eventually, and Johnson off of the tip of the Screaming Eagles is going to get SEMO back on the board. Just the momentum that SEMO needed. Can never call this team out, though. Neither of these teams. These two teams, absolute fighters. I mean, both of these teams have outside hitters like no other. Both of these teams can feed their hitters, can get points. Both of these teams can go on runs whenever they want, is what I'm saying. So you can't call either of these teams out of the game at any point. A back set for Willis on net one, and she's going to get it done. Like I said, on cue. And we're going to take a look real quick at that Ashby Willis back set. Doesn't even get her full hand on the ball, just a little bit of a tip, and it works perfectly. Bianca Anderson to serve. Holder with the pass. Johnson straight at Anderson, who somehow returns it back to SEMO, and Avery Torrey just goes a little bit too far on that one. This SEMO team definitely knew how good at defense that this Southern Indiana team is. They were most definitely working on hitting the ball higher and farther than they usually do all week. Torrey on that one hits it a little bit too far, got a little bit too comfortable with trying to hit it far, but they earn that one right back for her. SEMO back on the board. Marin Johnson back to serve. Surprisingly, we haven't seen Kara Oxenconnect get in the game today so far. Oxenconnect, the leader on SEMO in hitting percentage, has not seen the court today so far, and that is what I mean when we talk about the versatility of this SEMO lineup. Coach Yankus has so much that she can work with. She has 3 different setters. She has 3 top outside hitters who are followed by strong ones after them, and don't even get me started on the middle. She doesn't even know who to start every week. I mean, obviously she does. I'm speaking from my own perspective. But who would you start every week? Ramiri Gardner, Elena Lester, both proving every week why they should be a starter. I mean, this team is deep. Thomas with a dump, and that one finds the bottom of the barrel. SEMO couldn't handle that one, and Southern Indiana is up 10-5 here in the third set. You see the replay from the OVC setter of the week. And here she is, Asa Thomas, back to serve again. From Brownsburg, Indiana. She's going to get another ace, her second one of the day, showing why she earned that OVC Freshman of the Week award. Not only setting, she's one of those 3 Southern Indiana players that is top 10 in digs per set. But doesn't matter for Lucy Arndt. Lucy Arndt is mad that she's down in this game so far. And I wouldn't want to play against Lucy Arndt on a volleyball court regularly anyway. but I definitely don't want to play Lucy Arndt when she's mad. Nina Schubert back to serve. Lucy Arndt just a little bit too high on that one. Southern Indiana's defense working for them. Bench Mafia working for them. You see their teammates running helicopter circles around other teammates, getting hype, trying to get them back into this game. So is Kerrigan Fair, who's back to serve. Arndt gets the first touch. They're going to send it over to Torrey. It's handled by Southern Indiana. Tried to find a weak spot, but Schubert was ready for it, and Lucy Arndt comes diving. SEMO down 5. See substitutions being made. Holder and St. John check in. Burns and Torrey out. Look at that quick replay. Ellie Burns with the setup for Lucy Arndt. Good assist there by the freshman Burns. And Megan Holder is back to serve. Again, quick congratulations to Megan Holder for hitting 1,000 assists on the season. Thomas with a setup. Tipped at the line by SEMO. Arndt returning it. Asa Thomas gets her hands on it. Ashby Willis is going to return. Megan Holder, Ramiri Gardner, Ashby Thomas with the dig. It was Asa Thomas. Ashby Willis gets the hit on the outside. And that one hits Reagan Nelson in the face, but she keeps it up. Lucy Arndt, we are still playing. What a rally we have here in the Houck Fieldhouse. Holder to Arndt. Blocked at the line, but we are still alive. Holder over to St. John, who tips it. And that one saved by Southern Indiana. We are still going. A free ball here for SEMO. What are they going to do? They're going to give it back to St. John, and she is going to capitalize. Katie St. John, after it looks like at least 100 back and forth between the Screaming Eagles and the Red Hawks, Katie St. John finally gets on the board. SEMO is now down 4. Momentum is building. After a rally like that, getting that point is huge if you're SEMO. Southern Indiana going to have to hold on to these first 12 points of momentum that they have. Holder to Arndt. Nelson dives and couldn't handle that one. Looks like the kill went to Carly Wright, the lefty on the outside on that one. And Southern Indiana, as we talk about getting that motivation, getting that momentum right back, they do just that. Audrey Small with the serve, and it's back to Arndt. Blocked at the line, but lands out of bounds. Lucy Arndt credited with the kill, and she's back to serve. Arndt now has 11 kills on the day. 6 digs. She gets her 7th one right there. Holder to Johnson, and Johnson gets the point. Lucy Arndt, 11 kills on the day. Marin Johnson, 11 kills on the day. These two girls both in the double digits, showing that these SEMO hitters are just so good. Marin Johnson and Lucy Arndt both have 11 kills. Katie St. John has 7, and Ramiri Gardner has 4. Ramiri Gardner seems like she's got the most kills on the team. Every time she hits the ball, it's just so much aggressiveness, so much momentum every time she gets a nice kill. Very, very important player Gardner is for this SEMO squad, and we hope Lucy Arndt's all right. Looks like she got hit in the upper area of her body on that one. Back to Arndt in the back row, and she has not missed on one of those today. Lucy Arndt, an unofficial 3 for 3 from the back row. What a set there, and what a finish from Lucy Arndt. SEMO down 3, only 3 after that Lucy Arndt 10 back set hit. What a little comeback here for SEMO, and they are going to look to make a comeback in the third set. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
We're back here in Cape Girardeau. SEMO down 14-11. Southern Indiana up by 3 in the third set. Ramiri Gardner back to serve. And here we are. Hauk Fieldhouse. SEMO is currently up 2-0. Southern Indiana has not won a set, but they're winning right now, and they're looking to keep this momentum up. Willis on the outside. What a strike. Ramiri Gardner returns it. In a slide from Anderson, not going to be returned. That slide has been working all day for Bianca Anderson, and it works yet again. Southern Indiana comes out of the timeout and executes perfectly. So after we had a challenge timeout, which was awarded in SEMO's pointed favor, now we have a timeout called by Southern Indiana. SEMO still down 4. We're going to take a quick look at some of the stats from this game so far. Let's talk about those blocks. Southern Indiana only has 3 blocks. They are averaging 1 block per set. Now, not necessarily a bad number, but lower than their regular. I think that this SEMO team is doing a stellar job at not letting them block the ball. Now, while Southern Indiana is first in the OVC in blocks, a unsurprising stat from the stats of this game, SEMO is first in the OVC in allowing their opponents to block the ball. I mean, a matchup between a team that is first in the OVC in blocks versus a team that is first in allowing the least amount of blocks. And it has gone in SEMO's favor so far. Not in the third set, though. Southern Indiana playing in the third set through Ashby Willis, playing through Leah Coleman, and even playing through Bianca Anderson. Anderson, who's only got 4 kills, has been killing from that slide position. Ashby Willis, their team leader in kills, not only this year, last year also, has 8 on the day. Leah Coleman has 7. Bianca Anderson has 4. It looks like that is Ashby back to serve for the Screaming Eagles. Here's Ashby, looking to keep Southern Indiana ahead, and they are going to stay ahead. Celebration by Coleman, and Southern Indiana goes up yet again. They are up 5. Johnson on the outside. Small makes an effort over there, but it is going to be a SEMO point. So far in this season, SEMO has outscored their opponents in the third set. They've outscored their opponents in all 3 first sets, which they've done today. An ace, though, Ellie Burns. You saw the angle she hit that ball. That looked real difficult to defend, and it proved to be. Southern Indiana, who's very good at serve-receive, leads the OVC in digs, 3rd in the nation in digs. Couldn't handle that one from Burns. Shows why the freshman's getting some playing time. That slide out to Anderson, and it works yet again. Bianca Anderson sliding from that outside position to an even more outside position. Finds a spot that the defense just wasn't ready for. And after getting on the board, she is back to serve. Here is Anderson. Played by Tori. Arndt gets it over. Another slide, which is almost played by SEMO, but that one a little bit out of play. Anderson gets another chance for another point. Lucy Arndt with the first touch. Over to Marin Johnson, who gets blocked. Lucy Arndt dives to try and save that ball. Was almost enough, but she could not save that play. Southern Indiana is up 6 here against SEMO. And we have another timeout. Southern Indiana has came out since the last timeout and has done exactly what Coach has talked to them about, as I can imagine. Obviously not in that huddle, but they're sticking the aggression up. They're sticking the offense, and they're stopping SEMO's offense, doing exactly what we talked about before the game. Before the game, we talked about they need to stop these outside hitters. Now, if you look at the stats through the whole game, SEMO has been doing what they came to do, sharing the love. Lucy Arndt has 12 kills, Marin Johnson has 12, and Katie St. John has 7. Their top 3 outside hitters all have almost double-digit hits. But here in the third set, SEMO has hit a little bit of a halt. SEMO has slowed down a little bit, and that's been because of the defense by Southern Indiana. Currently in the OVC standings, SEMO is 4th. They are 3-1 in OVC games, 10-6 overall, and they have won their last 2. They are coming off of a 2-0 sweep versus Tennessee Tech. For Southern Indiana, now they are 6th in the OVC. They're 2-2 in the conference, but they're also 2-0 in their last 2. They're coming off 2 straight sweeps against OVC opponent Eastern Illinois. SEMO and Southern Indiana both have OVC opponents coming up after this. SEMO will play Southern Indiana again tomorrow night. In post that, next week, SEMO has a home game against SIUC. They play Southern Illinois Carbondale next Tuesday, and then they themselves play Eastern Illinois in a doubleheader in Charleston, Illinois. Marin Johnson is back to serve here tonight, though. Over to Coleman, who gets blocked, and her teammate dives to save that ball. We are not on that line. We don't know if she needed to touch that one. Looks like some good effort, some good team chemistry there, trying to save her teammate. But it sure does help SEMO. SEMO back on the board. Johnson looks to get another point. Not exactly the point that she wanted to hit. Just a little bit soft on that serve for Johnson. And she brings the ball right back to Southern Indiana's Asa Thomas. It's going to be returned by SEMO. Lucy Arndt comes in for the strike, and it's going to be blocked by Southern Indiana. The Screaming Eagles are having their way at the volleyball net. Every single play is going their way. They are getting blocks at ease. They are up 7 in the third set. Thomas to Schuberth. Burns to Arndt, and that one going to get down. Lucy Arndt finds the sweet spot. Doesn't get blocked on that one. Goes untouched in the back row. Arndt gets her 12th kill of the game. Thomas over to Coleman. Nelson watches that one. Schuberth watches that one, and they both correctly did so. Schuberth is back to serve. And SEMO is looking to crawl back from this third set deficit. Schuberth almost with an ace, but it is handled by the Screaming Eagles. Burns finds Arndt running in, and it's blocked again by Southern Illinois. Mackenzie Murphy and Grace Bach on that one. Duo block for Southern Indiana. And, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at replay because I was mistaken on that one. I do think that there was a double touch, and that was SEMO's point. So I do apologize for originally calling that one Southern Indiana's point. SEMO is still on the board, and that causes Southern Indiana to call a timeout. SEMO's only down 2. They were just down 7, no less than a few plays ago, and now they are only down 2. A quick turnaround for this SEMO team. 4th in the OVC for a reason. 1st in the preseason standings for a reason. Now, this SEMO team ranked 4th because they're coming off a loss to Little Rock. Last week on September 27th, SEMO did end up losing to Little Rock. Just a quick stat sheet from that Little Rock game. SEMO ended up losing. That Little Rock team is first. They are undefeated in the conference so far. A stellar Little Rock Trojans team. But Lucy Arndt had a double-double in that game against Little Rock. She had 22 kills and 21 digs. A 20-20 double game in a single game. Those weren't matchups. Those weren't stats from 2 games combined. In a single game versus Little Rock, Arndt had 22 kills and 21 digs. But we got to bring our focus back to this game. We are here in Houck Stadium. 3rd set. Southern Indiana is down 2 sets to 0. But they're up 2 here. Schubert looking to bring that deficit back for the Red Hawks. Team leader in aces. And Leah Coleman is blocked. Ramiri Gardner, Avery Torrey on the right side. And SEMO is only down 1. Take a quick look at that one. Block assist by Torrey, block assist by Gardner. And here comes Schubert with the serve. Coleman gets down on a knee for that one. Give and go. They go right back to her, but it's touched at the line. Back set for Reagan Nelson, played by Willis. Nelson somehow keeps that one up, and Nina Schubert, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, almost keeps that one alive, but they can't do it. Southern Indiana back on the board by 2. Carly Wright, the freshman, awarded with the kill for that one. Fair with the serve. Nelson to Burns to Arndt. Thomas. And Schubert stops that one. Lucy Arndt. Over to Willis, and Reagan Nelson hits that one right at our cameraman. Almost handled that one, but that ball came with striking speed. It looks like it went up just as fast as it came down. Nelson couldn't handle it. Southern Indiana, great strike, and it's going to cause another timeout. Southern Indiana is 3 points away from the end of this set. SEMO's a couple more than that. SEMO's 6 away, but if they keep it close, we might be going to extras. We shall see how the end of this 3rd set goes. Just a quick reminder, in case you forgot, it is OVC Mental Health Awareness Week, and tomorrow is alumni night here in the Houck Fieldhouse. We got an alumni right behind Coach Julie Yankas, Tara Bealsmith, but we'll talk more about her tomorrow, so make sure you are here for this doubleheader. SEMO down 3 here in the 3rd set. They got to put all the cards on the table right here. They got to make a comeback. This is a SEMO team. They just played Tennessee Tech, and they played in a doubleheader. In their first game versus Tennessee Tech, like this one against Southern Indiana, the first game in a doubleheader, SEMO went down in the first set. They lost the first set, something they don't do very often. SEMO is outscoring opponents 371 to 349 during the first set. But they went down in that first set and then continued to win 3 straight to take Tennessee Tech out in 4 sets. This SEMO team can make a comeback. They are most definitely capable of it, and we're going to see if they can do it right now, and it's got to start right now. Ramiri Gardner doesn't get that point, though. Looks like she got it down, but it wasn't a clean play. Screaming Eagles awarded with that point. As we have a little bit of discourse from our referees, we will wait a second and update you. Kerrigan Fair with the serve. No update needed. We're back. Burns to Gardner, and she gets it right back. Wanted that last one, and she goes ahead and makes it worthy on that play. Who is SEMO going to send to serve? It's none other than Megan Holder. Set by Thomas. Outside to right. Arndt. Holder to Gardner. Returned by Small. Nice dig for the Screaming Eagles on that one. Nelson to Holder to Gardner again. USI gets another chance. Out to right with the left hand, and SEMO can't handle it. Carly Wright with a ferocious strike on that one. Wright gets her 5th kill of the match. And Southern Indiana causes SEMO to take their final timeout of the set. Southern Indiana is at 24 match point. SEMO's at 20. SEMO is going to have a perfect, and I mean picture perfect rest of this third set if they want this win. Southern Indiana, they only need one more. They have been playing a way better third set than they have this entire match. The first 2 sets, Southern Indiana had 1 block. This is a team that is first in the OVC in blocks. I know we have mentioned it a lot, but it is important to show this team's identity because while they had 1 block in those first 2 sets that they lost, now in the third set, they have had 4 blocks just in the third set. And look at that scoreboard. 4 blocks. Now they're up by 4. Look, their strategy works. Their strategy works. That's all I got to say. Bianca Anderson, team leader in blocks, leading again in the game. She's got 3. And then you have block assists from other teammates. Carly Wright has a couple. Ashby Willis has a couple. Leah Coleman's got 1. Over on the SEMO side, they've got 6 blocks themselves. SEMO has been blocking the ball, but they've been getting blocked here in this third set. The libero Small, almost an ace on the nearly the final play of the third set, but SEMO's defense returns it. Willis gets blocked by St. John. Katie St. John with a nice block after she saved that possession from a set-ending play. Quick look at that one as Katie St. John solo block in between both hands and puts that ball right back where it came from. There's Lucy Arndt with the serve. Thomas to Willis. Lucy Arndt diving. We're to keep it alive. Lucy Arndt wanted that one again, but Schubert handles it. Thomas to Wright. And it's played by SEMO on the outside to Marin Johnson, who gets that one down. Marin Johnson with no run-up, with no correct footwork. Nearly looked like she was flat-footed on that one with a kill. Great play by Johnson on that one, and Arndt is back to serve. Thomas to Wright. SEMO tips it. Gardner sets to St. John. Small to Thomas, to Anderson. And we're still alive. The back set to Lucy Arndt. Returned for the first time today by Southern Indiana. Wright hits it to Schubert. Marin Johnson is blocked at the net. Beautiful block there by none other than Carly Wright of Southern Indiana. SEMO goes up 2-0 in the first 2 sets and drops the third. Southern Indiana takes the third, 25-22. We will be right back to Houck Fieldhouse. I'm Kyler Messenger, and you're watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. We are back. I am Kyler Messenger, and I have been with you all night, and I will be with you whether this game ends in 4 or 5. I'll be sticking with you. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look at some of the highlights from that third set and from this game that we have seen so far. We welcome you back into Houck Fieldhouse, where SEMO is up 2-1 in their favor. They have won 2 sets. They have given up 1. That one set that SEMO has given up is the most recent one where Southern Indiana finally turned on the Jets and started playing like themselves. Story of the game has got to be Southern Indiana's blocking. In the first 2 sets, they came out and they had 1 block throughout the first 2 sets. They were averaging 1 block per set. Well, they come out in that third set and they have 5 of them. 5 of them in that third set playing to who they are. And it shows. It worked. They defeated SEMO in that third set. Now, we saw a little bit of a comeback from SEMO, some resilience, but it did not work in the long run. SEMO looking to end this game in 4. Southern Indiana hoping to push this 1-5. Here we are, Houck Fieldhouse. Kerrigan Fair back to serve, and we are underway to some great volleyball. Starts the set off with an air. SEMO getting the first points of the 4th set. Going to knock on wood. I am an announcer, which means I am blessed with the announcer's jinx. So I don't want to say this, but the winner of the first point has won the first 3 sets. Knocking on wood, but we'll see what happens throughout this contest. Tie ball game so far here. SEMO's got 1. Southern Indiana, it's always nice to break a curse. Southern Indiana would like to do that here. Audrey Small back to serve. Anderson double hand tips that one. If there was a hoop there, she was putting that ball in. Gets the point for Southern Indiana, and Audrey Small is back to serve again. Small went to Northern Alabama last year, but she's from the Missouri area. She's finally back here in Missouri as Lucy Arndt with the back set. Talking about it all day. Back set Lucy Arndt. It's her new nickname, back set Arndt. I don't know what that means, but she's been killing it from the back row all day. So is Ramiri Gardner, who's back to serve. Thomas sets to Willis. Now Gardner sets to St. John. Nearly touches that corner, but referees, line judges are going to say it did not. Southern Indiana point as they go up 3-2. Moore with the serve. Oxen Connect finally in the game. You see that signature slide. And Katie St. John hits it right to Asa Thomas, who cannot handle that one. SEMO is tied at 3-3. See some of those lineup changes that we've been talking about. Oxen Connect finally sniffs that lineup. Surprising that we haven't seen her touch the lineup in these first 3 sets. The transfer, the newest SEMO player, back in the lineup. Burns with the serve. Over to Willis on the Southern Indiana side, and she is going to put it on the board. Ashby Willis back to serve once again. Handled by Johnson. A little give and go. Johnson, Arndt, Johnson. And now they're going to steal a page out of SEMO's playbook. Try to back set to their team leader in kills, Ashby Willis. And that's what you get for trying to steal. SEMO says no on that one. Stops that. And it is a tie ball game once again. 4th set, Southern Indiana 4, SEMO 4. And number 4, Marin Johnson back to serve. Sometimes the world just works the way that it should. Anderson blocked. No good. Southern Indiana point. Bianca Anderson with another slide point. Now, I don't have points on how many I don't know how many kills she's gotten on slides specifically, but I think that Anderson's 6 kills, at least 5 of them have been from slides. She has been killing on that slide today. We got a rally going here. Southern Indiana blocked at the line, but it stays in SEMO's side of the court. Looks like Avery Torrey and Ellie Burns got hands on that one. Went back down for Southern Indiana's point, though. Holder to Arndt. And it's handled by Southern Indiana. Coleman. And Ellie Burns with a tip. There it is. This SEMO team is not known for tipping the ball. Talked to Coach Yankus before the game. Something they've honestly been working on is tipping the ball more often. And win is a better opportunity. And right there, Ellie Burns just burned her name into the SEMO record book. Definitely not the only. As SEMO gets another point, there's a little bit of a misfire there from Southern Indiana. Definitely not the only fake set that Burns is going to have all year. But nonetheless, a real good one. Schubert with the serve. We got fake slides going. And Leah Coleman, another point. SEMO 6, Southern Indiana 7. Asa Thomas back to serve. SEMO watches that one go. An untouched ace for Asa Thomas. 3 aces on the day for Asa. And Lucy Arndt. That pass was great. Leah Coleman. Burns gets the first touch. So a back set for Reagan Nelson, who comes with some power. Goes to right with the left, who knocks Nelson down, but Nelson makes the play. Arndt a little bit out of reach. Has to make a play, and it's going to be double touched by the Screaming Eagles. A double touch called by the referee, and SEMO is back on the board. 1-point game once again. Here is Holder back to serve. She's got 29 assists on the day. 1 away from a 30 bomb. Southern Indiana gets on the board for that one, though. Up 2 for the Eagles. Kerrigan fair. Service error. SEMO only down 1 once again. Looking to build in this 4th set. We got a close matchup. 1-point game, and Lucy Arndt is back to serve. Almost drops. Right with the left hand. Awfully ironic that somebody whose last name is Wright is swinging with the left. And look at that bench mob. Looks like they got a specific bench hype man over there. I wish I knew your name, sir, to shout you out. But that bench over there for Southern Indiana, absolutely a crucial part to the comeback that they're having. Players have been running in circles all day over there for the Screaming Eagles, making that Screaming Eagles name really be true. There's Audrey Small with the serve. Schubert misplays that one, but Marin Johnson gets one hand on that one and saves it. Marin Johnson, how do you do? Katie St. John following her teammates' prowess. Wow, what a play there from SEMO as Willis is going to get on the board for Southern Indiana as they get their 12th point of the set. And we just have in from our ESPN coordinator, that bench mafia mob is led over there by Mr. Moonen. Mr. Moonen's sisters are on the team, the twin sisters, Jillian and Maeve Moonen, their brother, Conan, leading that bench mafia over there in the back. Shout out to Moonens, but this is a 4-point game in the 4th set. We'll be right back here in Cape Girardeau. You are watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. We're back here in Cape Girardeau, mid-play, as Johnson gets stuffed at the line, but we're still alive. Southern Indiana 12, SEMO 8, and Southern Indiana is going to put up their 13th point of the game. We apologize for bringing you in a little bit late mid-play through that one. We apologize that there are no natural sounds, but we're going to make do with what we have. If you're not excited about this volleyball game, I don't know how you're even watching. The back set to Lucy Arndt is going to be a point for SEMO after a slight miscommunication from the Screaming Eagles side. So, now, both teams in the double digits. SEMO is at 9, almost in the double digits. Southern Indiana at 13, a 4-point game still. Thomas with the set to Willis on the outside. It's blocked by SEMO. Willis gets it over. SEMO going to have a time to run a set play. Fakes it to Oxen Connect. St. John with the hit. Here comes the Eagles. That one tipped out of bounds. Right hits it out, but it was tipped at the net by SEMO. And Southern Indiana goes up 5. Moore with the serve. Holder gets to that one. Finds Lucy Arndt. Willis. And it's going to be a executed play by Southern Indiana. They're up 6, and execution is just the word, the theme that we're going to keep going with. Southern Indiana is just out-executing SEMO right now, and they have been for the last 2 sets. Johnson with the tip, but Southern Indiana's defense is ready. Schuberth finds St. John, and St. John will not be rewarded with the point. SEMO looked like they were calling for a tip, and Coach Yankus is going to challenge that one. St. John was calling for a tip on that one. It looks like the SEMO roster went back to the huddle like they had that point. But the referee called it Southern Indiana's point, so we're sticking at 15-9. We will see where this point is rewarded. Take a quick look at the replay that we're looking at. St. John clearly hits it out of bounds, but was it touched at that line? We will take a quick slow-mo when that ball was left St. John's hands at the line. We need to look at that replay one more time and look at when it hit the line. And look at when Southern Indiana touched it, if they touched it. Referee says that ball was not out of bounds. That ball was touched by the Screaming Eagles. And SEMO is rewarded with the point. Now both teams are in double digits, but a little bit farther away than it was the last time that I said that. Southern Indiana's got 15. SEMO's got 10. The freshman Ellie Burns is in there to serve. And we got a game ahead of us. SEMO leads 2-1. Southern Indiana won the 3rd set. And Burns makes a serving error. That one was the 10th serving error of SEMO of the day. Now in double digits for serving errors. Oxen Connect with the slide. And they slide right back for Southern Indiana. Both these teams just sliding back and forth like we're on a playground, and Southern Indiana gets on the board. 7-point lead for the Screaming Eagles. SEMO dominated in the first two sets, not allowing Southern Indiana to even hold a lead. And now in these last two sets, Southern Indiana is coming out and just dominating SEMO. Here comes Arndt from the back row. But that one's going to be awarded in the Southern Indiana way. See the bench mob spelling it out as you do with those three-letter words in volleyball. ACE-OTE. That one was out. You see Coleman and Willis celebrating over there that was Coleman and Wright celebrating. This Southern Indiana bench mob has been doing it all day, and they have been hype. Over on the SEMO side, we take a look at this huddle. Coach Julie Yankus in her 15th season talking to the squad. Tara Beal-Smith in her first year as student assistant. Jenny Shuk to the right of her played for this SEMO squad just last year, now acting as an assistant coach. Maureen Johnson right behind Yankus in her 4th season. And Mark Moore right behind Yankus as well. Not his first year at SEMO. He's back for his second stint here with the SEMO volleyball team. And Yankus is talking to this squad. I'm sure she's trying to tell him that they need to turn the aggressiveness up. This is a team that knows how to hit. It's a team that is third in the OVC in hitting percentage. And they have been allowing opponents to block the ball the least amount of times. SEMO just needs to bring this game back to how they were playing in the first two sets. For Southern Indiana, Oxen Connect with the slide on that one. Southern Indiana, though, they're just a different team than they were in those first two sets. Those first two sets were uncharacteristic to who they are. Marin Johnson on the board for the first time of this set. Marin Johnson with the kill on that one, finds the space in between defenders. And that's how SEMO is going to get started. They come out of the timeout, earn the first point. Although still down 7, they're definitely got a chance. And especially if Marin Johnson is getting aces, they definitely got a chance. Johnson has 15 kills on the day. She's swinging 53% as that one is blocked. SEMO comes out of this timeout, and it looks like they just needed some rest. Their legs are looking rejuvenated. They're blocking the ball. They're hitting the ball. They're serving the ball. They're doing everything that they've been wanting to do. SEMO coming out of that break and earning the first 3 points. But this Southern Indiana team, let's not act like they're not. They haven't been killing the game in these last two sets. We saw Anderson just get blocked on a slide. She's been killing that slide all game. Take a look at some of our stats so far here in this contest. SEMO has got more kills than Southern Indiana, as you would expect for a team that's up 2-1. They're only up by 6, though. 51 kills as compared to Southern Indiana's 45 total. SEMO has made 14 attacking errors. Southern Indiana has made 17. SEMO is striking 26%. 26.6% of the time that SEMO is hitting it, they are winning it. They are successfully winning 26% of the time. Over on Southern Indiana, so far in this game, they're only winning successfully 20% of the time. 20.6% of the time that they are hitting, they are winning. The third set that we just watched before this fourth set was a totally different game than the first two sets. In this fourth set, both of these teams SEMO's trying to go back to how they started this game. Southern Indiana trying to go back to the last set. Both these teams just need a little bit of rejuvenation. And that slide that we just talked about, unblocked, but also untouched because it goes out of bounds. SEMO stays on the board. Maren Johnson looking for her 4th straight point. And here it comes. Here is the serve from Johnson. Coleman with the hit. Schuberth with a nice dig to find Arndt, but it's going to be blocked. Johnson dives in the back, can't handle it. She subs out for Nelson. And Southern Indiana goes up 5. Mackenzie Murphy there in the middle. Bianca Anderson serving. Leah Coleman on the left. Leah Coleman can't get the left hand on that one. And SEMO's back on the board. A quick revival from SEMO. Loses possession, but they get it right back. They got 10 points until that 25 mark. Southern Indiana's only got 6. Asa Thomas finds Coleman. And Reagan Nelson keeps that one alive. Ramiri Gardner, they finally brought it back to Gardner. And that point comes at just the time they needed it. Earlier, I made a point that I believe when Ramiri Gardner gets a kill, it counts as 2. I mean, every time she gets a kill, it just feels aggressive. It feels like it gives this team momentum, almost an ace, but Thomas saves it with her left. Lucy Arndt, though, how are you supposed to return that one? Kira Moore is lucky that her hands were in front of her face, or she might have got her teeth knocked out. SEMO now down only 2. Schuberth with the serve. Thomas with the set. Finds Coleman, but SEMO's defense is locked and they are loaded. Burns, freshman connection with Nelson. Coleman finds Schuberth. Oh my goodness, that defense was hustling. Schuberth almost saves that one. Leah Coleman with the kill. Southern Indiana back on the board, goes up 3, and this is the momentum that they are looking to build on. If Southern Indiana can keep this momentum going, we got a tie ball game going into the 3rd set. Ellie Burns to Ramiri Gardner. SEMO calling for something, but it's not going to be called. So Lucy Arndt's just going to have to get it done herself. Aren't you entertained? Lucy Arndt, what a kill on that one. Ramiri Gardner almost gets the point, doesn't, so Lucy Arndt comes and saves the day. Here's Holder with the serve. Right. Calling for a double touch. Not going to get it. SEMO keeps that ball in play. They give it back to Wright with the left. And that one, not right. A little bit too far outside. SEMO down 1. Holder with the serve. It's back for Leah Coleman of Southern Indiana. They're going to give it back to Coleman. Coleman blocked at the line. Here comes SEMO. Lucy Arndt blocked at the line. And Southern Indiana doing what they do best at the time where it matters most. We got a 4th set here in Cape Girardeau. A 2-point matchup between the 4th and the 6th overall teams in the OVC. What a game we've had so far, and what an end of the 4th set that we are winding up to have. Megan Holder with the set. And it's back for Southern Indiana. Ashby Willis, 15th kill of the day. How about that? Ashby Willis with the will of her right hand getting it done. Fair with the serve. Nelson gets the first touch and does it successfully. Here comes Arndt. Looks like she had a little bit of a run-up on that one, but Southern Indiana handles it. Good defense by the Screaming Eagles on that one. And are they going to stop it back-to-back times? They will. Lucy Arndt just a bit outside on that one as that bench is going crazy. Southern Indiana is only 2 points away from a fourth set win. This is a game where they were down 0-2 sets. And now they're looking to make a comeback. Unless SEMO gets it back. Kerrigan Fair's service error gives the ball back to SEMO. Lucy Arndt with ball in hands. Still a long ways to go for the Red Hawks if they want to win this set. Southern Indiana's just got to hold off for a little bit longer. Schuberth gets it up for St. John. Firing it. Small handles it, though. There's Arndt handling it. For SEMO, Marin Johnson with the kill. Here's Arndt. Set to Willis, but it's going to be a SEMO point. Looks like that one was blocked by Katie St. John. SEMO goes down 23-20, and then thanks to a service error by Fair of Southern Indiana, SEMO has now brought it back into a 1-point deficit. A game of back and forths, a game of offense versus defense. These teams have been doing it all, offense and defense. I mean, what a fourth set that we've been here for. Quick look at some of our stats. Ashby Willis of Southern Indiana leading the way for the Eagles. She has 15 kills. In second for Southern Indiana, Leah Coleman has 12. Over on the SEMO side, Lucy Arndt is leading the way with 19. She is 1 kill away from a 20-point game. Lucy Arndt, 19 kills, 11 digs. She has now earned herself her 9th double-double of the season. Marin Johnson has 16 kills as well as 5 digs. Marin Johnson hitting a .556 hitting percentage. Southern Indiana 2 away from this fourth set comeback. Have used up both of their timeouts. SEMO's got 1 left. And we are back in Hauk. Lucy Arndt causing some trouble for this defense. Megan Holder is going to set it for Ramiri Gardner, who is going to get the ball tipped. But Southern Indiana, with the sheer defense of effort that they just put through, is going to keep it alive. But it's not going to continue for the entire play. Ramiri Gardner, if she doesn't do it once, they're going to give it right back to her. And she does it again, earning the point. We are now at a tie ball game. 0-0 essentially for these teams in the fourth set. SEMO 2 points away from now a comeback win. Southern Indiana now only 1 point away from an absolute comeback. And Southern Indiana 1 point away from pushing it to 5 sets. Here is the setter, the libero, Audrey Small with the serve on match point. Holder to Johnson. It's touched, but Southern Indiana is still playing. Small with the free ball over to SEMO. Holder's going to find Johnson, who winds back. What a kill. Marin Johnson, how about that to tie the ball game? If you are unaware, college volleyball, you must win by 2. We are no longer at match point as Ashby Willis, just as hard as Marin Johnson came at them, she comes right back. What a hit. Southern Indiana is now up 1 on SEMO, and they got the ball back. Wow, what a couple of back-to-back kills by these outside hitters. Nearly an ace, but Lucy Arndt saves it, and SEMO is going to give up the fourth set. They give it a little bit of extras. They push Southern Indiana to 26, But the Screaming Eagles take the fourth set. SEMO goes up 2-0, and then Southern Indiana brings it back to a 2-2 tie. We will be here for the fifth set. My name is Kyler Messenger. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Don't forget, you're watching Ohio Valley Conference volleyball between SEMO and Southern Indiana on ESPN+. And your much elongated wait is over. My name is Kyler Messenger. Been with you all night. Will be with you to finalize this game. And we welcome you into the Houck Fieldhouse. You're looking at the huddle of the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles. Why are they moving like that, you may ask? Well, they were down 2-0 to start this match. SEMO took the very first 2 sets looking to sweep Southern Indiana. And what does Southern Indiana do? They come back with this team chemistry, this aggressiveness, and just this way of playing that is unique. This team takes back 2 sets, and here we are back into the 5th set. Wow, what a game so far. Just a quick little rundown that we've seen so far. In the first set, SEMO took it 25-19. In the second set, SEMO took it 25-18. Well, in back-to-back sets in the third and fourth, Southern Indiana has took it. They went up 25-22 in the third, and in this most recent fourth set, Southern Indiana won 26-24. Take a look at that bench mob movement. Has been an absolute factor to this team winning as we look at some of our replays from this game so far. Thank you to our ESPN staff replay coordination for those replays. 0-0. In case you weren't aware, here in the 5th set at the Division I volleyball level, we go to 15 points. Only 15. You still must win by 2. And since it is an odd number of sets and these teams have been on each side for an even amount of times, once the score hits 8 points, these teams will switch sides. So be ready for a switch side. These teams switching sides at the 8-point marker. And be ready for this game to end at only the 15th point. Southern Indiana making a comeback. We saw them in the first 2 sets with only 2 blocks. Well, through the third and the fourth, they've made their way up to 7 blocks, playing like themselves. Southeast Missouri State, on the other hand, playing to their outside hitters. Lucy Arndt's got almost 20 kills. She's got 19. And Marin Johnson has 17. And we are here for the third set. Carly Wright gets the 5th set. I just had like a little moment of judgment where I realized I just said third set. I do apologize. Carly Wright with the first point of the 5th set for Southern Indiana, and we are underway. Riri Gardner blocked at the line by Murphy, and SEMO blocked at the line by Mackenzie Murphy once again. Mackenzie Murphy has been a little bit quiet today. And now she's making her presence be known. Murphy literally leads the OVC in blocks per set. Leads the OVC in blocks per set. And now on back-to-back-to-back plays, she has one, but SEMO keeps it alive. Mackenzie Murphy literally turned around mid-play because she thought it was over. SEMO, what a play defensively to keep this play alive. Wright brings it over, and here comes SEMO. Holder to Arndt with a nice arm angle. Gets it to Willis. Schubert's with a nice dive. Holder finds Arndt again. Arndt finds Small, who makes a great dig. These defenses are putting on a show. Holder looks for the back set to Nelson. Small gets the first touch. Finds Wright, and Wright puts it right past Reagan Nelson. Southern Indiana has came out in this fifth set and is stunning SEMO, a 3-point lead to start the final set. Kerrigan Fair to serve. Reagan Nelson handles it. Just a one-toucher there for SEMO, which is blocked. Southern Indiana gets blocked. And what does Ashley Willis do? She does her best Jay Huff of the NBA impression and does a backwards dunk. Two hands behind her head. No look. Steve Nash style. Literally a backwards pass over her head. What a play there by Ashby Willis. And Southern Indiana has a picture-perfect start to the fifth set. Could not have asked for a better fifth set. Couldn't have even dreamed of one. Look at that replay. Willis throwing her hands up like it's nothing. I think I said two hands. She did that with one. She literally did that with her right hand. Just the right hand. A little flashy pass, I suppose you could say on that one. Don't know if we're throwing out style points these days, but she would get a couple on that one. Southern Indiana takes the lead to start this play, or to start this set. SEMO calls the first timeout, and Coach Yankees has got to be working with this squad. This set has been block after block to start it. It was started by Mackenzie Murphy. Two back-to-back blocks in the exact same play. They went at her once, and they went at her again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Mackenzie Murphy doesn't let it happen. Gets a couple of her first blocks of the game. And now we are underway once again, and SEMO is on the board. Lucy Arndt back to serve. SEMO comes out of the timeout, and they come out like they wanted to. They scored the first point out of the timeout. Let's see how they work with the rest of this set. Willis comes in flying, but so does Arndt. And the SEMO defense can't handle that one. Audrey Small back to serve. That one is going to be short. SEMO just needed a grace gift. They needed something. And Southern Indiana, like on the 25th of Christmas, comes delivering. They give a service error to SEMO. And Ramiri Gardner, who's got 4 aces on the day, is back to serve right on cue. Ramiri Gardner, let me correct myself. Now 5 aces on the day. Get SEMO back into this game. That is the exact momentum that they needed. See the bench mob on SEMO trying to get into it. Set up to right. Holder back to St. John. Willis gets her hands on it, but it's going to be out of bounds, and SEMO sticks on the board. Ramiri Gardner is still serving. SEMO, who was just down 4-0, strikes back with 4 of their own on a 4-1 run. It is now 5-4, still Southern Indiana's way. Willis blocked at the net. Elena Lester, Katie St. John. Yes, they did. Tie ball game. 5th set, 5-5 ball game. And that is going to cost Southern Indiana their first timeout of the set. Ramiri Gardner, as we're talking about how many aces she has on the day, adds in yet another ace. And now SEMO on back-to-back points after an ace gets a block by Katie St. John and Elena Lester. Let's go ahead and check these Elena Lester blocking stats is what I'm worried about. Elena Lester has 3 blocks on the day, Ramiri Gardner has 3 as well. And the SEMO team leader, who just added one, Katie St. John, has 4. Over on the Southern Indiana side, if we're sticking on the block topic, Carly Wright, the freshman lefty who you've been seeing hitting it out there with the left hand. She's the only lefty on the court today, so not hard to miss. You know who I'm talking about, Carly Wright. Wright, last name, hits with the left hand. Leading the team with 5 blocks, has been playing fantastically today. She's got 10 kills into the double digits for the freshman. And whatever else must be said about this game, you must remember that this has just been crazy back and forth action. SEMO won the first 2 sets. Southern Indiana took the next 2, and now we're at a tie game in the 5th set. This is anybody's game to win. Here's Carly Wright, and she finds the space in between Holder and Arndt. Carly Wright with now her 11th kill of the day gives Southern Indiana that lead back. Set by Johnson. They're going to give it back to her. She's so tall, she stayed on top of that ball. Anderson striking. Johnson again. The dive by Moore almost gets that one. You see why she's 4th all-time in Southern Indiana. Diggs couldn't get all the way to that one, though. Marin Johnson gets the kill, and we're back at a tie game. The set to Willis, and Willis just puts that right past the SEMO defense. We need one of those miles per hour trackers out there to see how fast she hit that ball. We don't have that exact stat for you, but I can tell you this. That ball went fast. This is Ashby Willis to serve for Indiana. Ashby Willis with the serve. Burns sets it for Johnson. Coleman didn't know to run or not on that one, but makes the play. Thomas sets it up for Anderson. Couple back and forths on that one, and it looks like Anderson just missed the last one. Difficult play there right by the net. I mean, you don't know if that ball's going to hit the net. You don't know where you can strike. You got to be careful going under the net. You got to be careful going over the net. Real difficult position there. Tie ball game, though. 7-7. We're only going to 15. Leah Coleman gets on the board, and she's hitting her little dance. She keeps on doing it. She keeps on scoring, so she's going to keep doing it. Southern Indiana up 1, as these teams will swap sides. Here's that hit for Coleman on that one. Line judge calls it in. That one looks like it sure was close. And wow. This game quite literally could not be closer. SEMO was dominating Southern Indiana on the kills board. They had more than 10 more than them back in the 3rd set. Here in the 5th set, SEMO's got 60 kills, and Southern Indiana's only 4 behind them at 56. Southern Indiana, after playing from behind, going down 0-2, has played a fantastic game as Leah Coleman stays on the board. Leah Coleman, 14th kill of the day. Handled by Arndt. It's going to be a pass out to Avery Torrey. And Leah Coleman, back-to-back kills for Coleman, hitting her dance, and she sure did earn that one. Causes SEMO to call another timeout. Southern Indiana, after being tied with SEMO at 7-7, goes on a 3-0 run. And I shouldn't even say Southern Indiana. It's the name on the front. But Leah Coleman, solo 3-0 run, 3 straight points by Coleman. I mean, wow. This is a returning player for this team. She was here last year. Last year had 256 kills on the season. She hit just over the 100 marker. She hit at 103. And so far in this year, coming into this game, she has 133 kills. Well, right now she's got 15, which means that she is at 148 kills on the season so far, almost to 150. Leah Coleman, a stand-out outside hitter for this Southern Indiana squad. She's got 15 kills. She's got 36 attempts. She's hitting 306, highest on the team. She hasn't made that many mistakes. Coleman's seriously been playing out of her mind today. She's got 2 digs and a block as well. Bianca Anderson back to serve. You know she's been blocking and sliding. She sure has been sliding all day. Now she's got another serve. Holder finds aren't. Coleman with another chance. SEMO trying to return it, and it's just out of their grasp. Everything is going Southern Indiana's way right now. After dropping the first 2 sets, it's like they haven't made a mistake. They've been letting SEMO make all of them. They've given all of their bad voodoo to SEMO as Anderson with another serve. Elena Lester looks for the spot, can't find it. Coleman blocked and landed in. Leah Coleman with yet another point. Even when she's getting blocked, it's landing in. Like I said, everything going right for the Screaming Eagles right now as they are up 5. Burns with another dump, and she gets it done. That was the time, Ellie Burns. She's now 2 for 2 on dumps in this game. Had one in the 4th set. Adds another one in the 5th. Coachability is all what Burns is about. Coach Yankees has been trying to get this team to dump the ball just slightly more often. And what are they doing? Well, here comes Burns doing just that. Coleman gets blocked at the line. Back to Coleman, who just puts that one down, starts celebrating before the ball even lands. Leah Coleman is hype. OVC freshman and setter of the week, Asa Thomas, looking to close the game out for Southern Indiana. Ramiri Gardner doesn't want that to happen, no. Here comes Lucy Arndt, and that one placed in the back of the court. Lucy Arndt been working on that one all week. Finds her spot. SEMO down 4. Like we said, though, this SEMO team knows a comeback. Came back on this game. They literally are having a comeback worked on them right now. Don't want that to happen. SEMO is going to do all they can to finish off this set with a win. Thomas to the middle right. It's back to Coleman, who gets tipped and gets another point. Leah Coleman is up to 18 kills, and Leah Coleman in the 5th set has 5 kills. Leah Coleman is literally destroying this SEMO team. They put her back on the bench. She's getting hype over there. She has been hype since she started scoring points. She's been hype all day. You see her, Bianca Anderson, getting hype over there on the bench. Fair with the serve for Southern Indiana. The back set for Reagan Nelson. Where did she come from? She looked like Michael Jordan coming in flying on that one. It is match point. It is game point for Southern Indiana. But SEMO is not going to just let them hang around. They're not going to just let them get an easy win. SEMO is going to do all they can to get these points. And they're going to try right here. You see Maureen Johnson talking to Katie St. John. Coach Yankees about to grab the rest of the squad, reading her notes over there. I mean, what do you tell a team when they are down 1 or they're 1 away from dropping this game in a comeback game? SEMO's got to show some resilience here. They got to show what they are about. They got to play a perfect rest of this fifth set. Give a little bit more of a showcase, we have to Leah Coleman. I mean, what a fifth set that Coleman has been having. It seems like the volleyball blessers, the volleyball gods, did something to Coleman right before this fifth set. They gave her the touch because everything has been working. Even when she's gotten blocked by SEMO during this set, it has gone down for a point in her favor. Leah Coleman hitting .341 on the game, 18 kills. Team leader Ashby Willis has 20. A 20-16 game for Willis. Willis adding another double-double to her record. 4 more digs and she has a 20-20 game. And Lucy Arndt is back there to serve for SEMO, hoping to stay in this game. What a dig by Schubert to keep SEMO alive. Marin Johnson with the kill, but it's not going to land. Here's Wright. Megan Holder gets a hand on it. Lucy Arndt keeps it alive. And Ramiri Gardner keeps it alive at the wall. Marin Johnson then adds the point. We talk about resilience, and that is a play that's going to be shown all this season to show SEMO's resilience. Wow. Quick look at this one as Marin Johnson puts that one down, and we are back into the field of play. Southern Indiana and SEMO have both called their final timeouts. SEMO is down 3, and Southern Indiana is only 1 away from the win. Jeffrey O'Coin talking to his squad over there. Julie Yankus talking to her squad right here. And wow, has this been a matchup. The 10-6 Redhawks facing off versus the 6-10 Screaming Eagles. A game of runs, a game of back and forth, a game of defense. This has been a stellar defensive game. Southern Indiana has 83 digs on the day. SEMO's got 75. We look at our setting numbers. Asa Thomas of Southern Indiana, setter of the week, has 51 assists and 19 digs. She's not only leading the team in assists, she is also digging the ball the majority of the time. For a freshman, that sure is impressive. To come in and have that kind of prowess on this offense and defense, to be able to carry it like that, carries the wrong word, but you understand my point. What a player Asa Thomas is. Here is Lucy Arndt on the other side, looking to make this SEMO run. Lucy Arndt keeps herself alive. Marin Johnson runs. Lucy Arndt is going to have to get this one over. SEMO watches it, and it is going to drop. The Screaming Eagles are going to be screaming all the way back to the hotel tonight. We will be here tomorrow. Don't forget, SEMO Southern Indiana does have a doubleheader, but today's matchup, Southern Indiana wins in 5. They win in a favor of 3-2. SEMO won the first 2 sets, dominating Southern Indiana by over 6 points on both of those sets. And Southern Indiana, in the last 3, just comes back and makes this game theirs. This is the number 1 leading team with blocks per set in the OVC, the number 1 leading team in digs per set in the OVC, and they made that known. We will be back here tomorrow for Alumni Night, and we will be back here in Cape Girardeau. I'm Kyler Messenger saying so long from the Houck Fieldhouse in Cape Girardeau, where the final match is 3-2 in favor of Southern Indiana. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN+.